Recently done went viral. You just shook up the whole internet
Yes.
about a statement that you made. 2,000 men.
Absolutely.
In your time on this earth, you have slept with 2,000 men.
No. 2002.
Men and women.
Yes. But it's 2002 now.
It's 2002 now.
Yeah.
So you slept with two since the interview.
Yes.
How?
Okay, guys, I'm just on here to say a few words. A lot of you guys were upset about my High Value Woman podcast. Everybody's like, "Oh, what makes you high value? You're not a high value woman. You're a stripper. You're this. You're that. You're not high value." So I just want to read to you guys the definition of high value, and this is, I just typed in Google high value definition. You can see it right there. To consider as very important. That's it. This is the Merriam-Webster definition, okay? It says to consider as very important. So with that being said, that makes me high value because y'all consider me very important. Maybe not everybody, but at the end of the day, people look at Instagram and social media as status, as importance. When people look at my page and they see all the followers I have and they see the blue check, they automatically consider me as very important. You understand? Just like every other stripper or Instagram model or, you know what I'm saying, all these women that y'all want to claim is not high value, but clearly they're very important because y'all made them very important. So if you're upset with anybody, you shouldn't be upset at me. You should be upset with yourself for following all these people, for, you know, giving these people this importance. Y'all gave it to them. Y'all gave it to me. So don't get mad now that I'm just claiming what the fuck y'all gave me. I am very important. I have fans, I have supporters, I have people that love me, I have people that follow me, I have people that write me and, you know, they look up to me. Like, I can't help that. I am I am considered very important.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about this video that is going viral. Again, this is extremely unfortunate, but we got to talk about it because it is a video of a stripper who is basically trying to bring down men who work regular, normal, average jobs as if they're not important. They're not high value because they only make $70,000 a year or they work in a retail store. And I think videos like this are an example of how you have these strippers and Instagram models, these OnlyFans 304s, these white sauce guzzlers. They have essentially brainwashed women into having these unreasonable expectations for men, okay, because they see these, again, Instagram models or OnlyFans models or whatever, right? They see that, hey, they're living these lavish lifestyles and they believe that a man can only be valuable to them if they can provide them with that type of lavish lifestyle, luxury lifestyle that honestly is unrealistic. And again, just quite honestly, delusional because a lot of women, I think, are influenced by this type of stuff. And then they get unreasonable expectations in regards to what is a good man. So I want to go ahead and play the video that's going viral. And then I want to react to it. So without further ado, roll the clip.
Here's a list of jobs that men should not do, especially grown-ass men, okay? For one, McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's. Matter of fact, any fast food restaurant, if you think that you're a grown-ass man working in a fast food restaurant is okay, something is wrong with you, all right? Leave those jobs to the teenagers. My nephew can't even get a job right now because there's some grown-ass man in his goddamn 40s flipping my goddamn burger. Okay? Let it go. Leave it alone. That job is not for you. Anything in retail, okay? I don't want to see no grown-ass man handing me a dress, okay? Why are you a grown-ass man working at Ross? That makes absolutely no sense, okay? Target, Marshalls, like, guys, give it up. Leave these jobs to the kids. Leave these jobs to the teenagers. These are jobs you get in high school, in college. But once you're a grown-ass man, you do not need to be working in any fast food restaurant or any retail restaurant. And for you high value men that think that it's high value to work for the city,
let me tell you something. You're absolutely wrong, all right? No police officers, no firefighters, no construction workers, no mailmen, no post office. If you consider that a high value man, you're absolutely wrong, okay? There's nothing high value about making $70,000 a year. You men that think working for the city is high value, it's actually not, okay? It's pathetic. It's sad, all right? I don't want my husband coming home smelling like trash. Yes, we do need people to take the trash out, but don't come to me thinking that that's a high value job. Absolutely not, okay? You guys need to go get some real careers, okay? Become an entrepreneur or something, all right? Own a Lamborghini or something. Like, you guys thinking that you driving around here in a fucking Toyota and thinking that you're a high value man because you work for the fucking post office. You're absolutely wrong. Stop it. All right. You're low value. All right. And if you want a high value woman like me, you need to switch your career path.
Yeah, so you see that, you heard that. Okay, again, I find it absolutely hilarious that these women who literally show their buttholes for a living, right? They think that they're of such high value simply because they make money. When I would argue, based off this own person's definition of what high value is, which is somebody of importance, that she's not very important at all, especially compared to the men that she's trying to bring down simply because they don't make a lot of money for her standards. Like, for example, when you talk about a police officer or a construction worker or a mailman or a firefighter, I would argue that if all the men stop being in those positions, right, if they just stop doing those jobs, that society would fall apart. So by definition, I believe that they're very important, right? But if all the strippers stop showing their buttholes, right, I don't think that society would fall apart. In fact, it probably would be progress for society if people like her stopped doing what she was doing. So I actually think that you're not very important at all, right? If we are talking about somebody's value based off their occupation, your occupation as a stripper is not very important at all, because again, the world could keep turning and it would keep moving and society would continue to function without you, right? Like you are not important to the foundation of society, right? However, those people that you're trying to bring down, again, the police officer, the mailman, the construction worker, if we did not have any of those jobs or occupations, if men did not work those jobs, then society would fall apart, right? There would not be any strippers, okay? There wouldn't be any OnlyFans model. The infrastructure that this woman takes advantage of in order to do her job and to make money, again, it wouldn't exist, okay? Hard to have a building to strip out of when you don't have a construction worker to build it, right? Hard to be a stripper and to be protected from men, okay, who could possibly be trying to take advantage of you when you don't have police officers around, right? If the strip club catches on fire, then you best believe that firefighter becomes of a lot of importance to protect the venue that you work out of. Again, these people go on the internet and they say a whole bunch of things. They talk a lot without actually really understanding exactly what they're saying or the implications of what they're saying, okay? And it's especially hilarious coming out of this woman's mouth because all of the money that she accumulates has nothing to do with anything that she's earned, right? She doesn't earn any of that stuff. It basically is a product of what she was born with. And to take it even further, she wasn't even born with it, right? There's nothing real about this person at all. From the lashes to the lips to the chest to the butt, none of that stuff is real, okay? It's all surgically bought, okay? And you talk about some of the fakest individuals who make a career out of doing something that is degrading and requires no skill whatsoever. They have the unmitigated gall to come on the internet and try to degrade men who are foundations, who are cornerstone of society simply because they work a government job or they make $70,000 a year. Again, it shows you how out of touch these women are. And again, the reason why I'm making this video is because I think that although people like this woman are not really important when it comes to the advancement of society at all, unfortunately, they do have influence over young women and their perceptions of, again, what is a good man or what is a quote unquote high value man, which is a conversation that has been happening on the internet for the past few years now, in which you have, you know, some of these women that come out here and they try to put down men who are doing honorable and good jobs just because they don't make an unrealistic amount of money, which, by the way, all those professions that she named, if a man is actually putting in the work, working overtime, and he's moving up, he actually really is making good money, right? He's making more money than the average man, okay? And even going as far as to talk about men working in retail or men working in restaurants, although I do agree with her in the sense that, yeah, I don't think a grown 40-year-old man should be a cashier, right? I think that you should be aspiring to be more than a cashier, but just because you're a man that works in a restaurant or some retail space or grocery store, whatever, that doesn't mean that you can't be a quote unquote high value man, especially considering how, there are a lot of men that work in these areas that are managers, right? They're very important people when it comes to keeping the business functioning, okay? And they're well regarded because of the fact that, hey, they are running the business, okay? Like, for example, when I worked in a grocery store, my manager, I'll never forget this guy, right? Tall, black, bald-headed dude. He walked around like he was like the alpha male of the store, right? And he kind of was, right? He was the store manager. Dude was making well over 6 figures. He was driving a Porsche, okay? He had women coming into the store to see him and whatnot. And, he tried to flirt with the women and whatnot. But, like, yeah, I mean, he was that guy, right? And just because he worked in a grocery store, that didn't mean that he wasn't of high value or that he was an important person or that, he should be put down. No, I mean, the dude was a manager. He was running the store, right? Like, a man can be the manager of a restaurant, or they could own a restaurant chain, or they could be the head chef, or they could work in some very important position in that industry, okay, or in, whatever service that they're doing. Just because you have jobs that are of lower skill set requirement in that field, that doesn't mean that just because you're a man and you work in that field, that means that, hey, you're not high value or that you're not important or that, you're not a good man. Like, that's ridiculous. But what's even more ridiculous, again, is a stripper, right, who job requires no skills whatsoever, okay, outside of shaking her butt, okay, and exploiting herself and showing her body, speaking on a subject like this, trying to degrade men who actually do have important jobs in our society, right? Jobs that, again, if they didn't do, society wouldn't function. Again, it's amazing. It's amazing. Like, this is where we're at, where we have women like her who even have the cojones to go on the internet and to say something like this, knowing that she does probably the most degrading job that you could possibly do in society. But yet she wants to degrade other people and put other people down for jobs that, again, actually do require skill. Because, again, if this woman was a man, considering the skill set that she has, which is none, if she was a man, I don't think she would be able to be a police officer, a mailman, a firefighter, a construction worker, a store manager. She wouldn't have any of the skills to actually work these jobs that she's degrading. She would be the cashier, right? She would be the low-level employee working at these retail jobs if she was a man, right? She'd be the same man that she's trying to bring down because as a woman, she's shown that, hey, I don't have any of these skills, right? That I am criticizing these men who do have these skills. I don't have these skills because if she had these skills, then she wouldn't be a stripper, right? If she could make the amount of money that she's making with actual real skills, which, again, as a man, you have to have real skills in order to make the amount of money that she makes. And I'm assuming that she makes a decent amount of money, okay? But, yeah, if she had actual real skills, she wouldn't be a stripper. She wouldn't be able to survive as a man. She'd probably be homeless. And this is why I think that it's silly for people to try to derive somebody's value based off how much money they make, right? Now, I think clearly and obviously, I think men should strive to make as much income as they can to take care of their families. But just because you're not making, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a year as a man, that doesn't mean that you are low value, okay? A man and his value is defined by his ability to fulfill his role as a man, which is to be a leader, to be a provider, to protect, okay, to provide guidance, right? What did they do for society? What value does this man bring to society? What does he do? Is he important to society functioning? And most importantly, is he important to his family? Okay? Because that's, I think, the number one thing that determines the value of a man is what does he bring to the table for his family? Okay? How important he is for his family. In my opinion, I think that's what determines the value of a man. Okay? Not how much money he makes. Okay? Is money a component of it? Sure. But it's not everything. Okay? And especially when you're talking about a woman like her, right? What defines the value of a woman, considering how based off what she posts online and her occupation, she probably is not a good wife, not a good mother, and her occupation is not important for society function at all, right? So regardless of how much money she makes, I'm not sure in what world would you consider a stripper, right, like her, somebody of her status, to be a high value woman or a woman of value, considering how she brings nothing to the table for a man that a man would consider to be valuable from a woman, right? The money that she makes is irrelevant. Okay, but it is a shame that we do live in a society where women like her do make so much money, or they claim they make enough money, where they have the cojones to go online and to try to degrade men who do work jobs that are valuable to society, and to try to act like she's somehow, some way too good for them, when she is actually at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to what men are looking for in women, right? And I'm not talking about drug dealers and rappers and athletes. I'm talking about real men of value and substance. A real man of value of substance would never date a stripper, okay? Because you are considered the lowest value of women, regardless of how much money you bring to the table, just in virtue of the fact that your body, your soul can be bought and sold like Pokemon cards to the highest bidder. And because of that, because you don't see any value in yourself outside of how much money somebody can give you, right? This is why you're at the bottom of the list when it comes to what real men are looking for. This is why they say that women like this are for the streets, por las calles. And I just find it so ironic how, again, a woman that would be considered a low value woman by most men, a vast majority of men, is up here trying to judge men who actually do provide significant value to society for not making enough money to be with somebody like her. So again, it's just so funny how this person really believes that she is worth so much more than she actually is just because she makes money. The sad part about it is that there are a lot of young women that are influenced like this, and they do get these delusional ideas that a man has to make, damn near $1 million, or has to be rich and famous, or, something like that in order to be a good man, when it's just simply not true, right? It's just simply not true. And it is something that I think is a toxic message being pushed in our society that really is skewing women's expectations in regards to what a good man is. And it's really bad for society. So, hey, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.